right, welcome back everybody to Brave and Fearless. I'm Becca.
And I'm Ashley.
And today we had a few questions that we wanted to answer from people. So our first question I'm going to ask Ashley, and it's this. Lately I've been having a difficult time in life. It seems like everything keeps going wrong. What should I do?
I think that's a really good question. I can totally relate to it. I think we've all been there at some point in our life. You know, we can't avoid trials or difficulty in our life, and sometimes it just feels like you can do the right thing over and over and over again, and you can just continually get wrong results. You can do everything that you know to do to build yourself up, to, defeat the enemy, and it just seems like you just keep cycling through the same battle. So when I think about this, I go back to a familiar story in the Bible about three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And as the story goes, the king of Babylon commanded the people to bow down to a false god. These three men, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, they refused. They knew that it was wrong. They knew that there was only one God worthy to be praised. So they did the right thing, and they didn't worship the false god. But as a result, the king became very angry. The king was so mad that he threw them into the fiery furnace. And he didn't just throw them into the furnace, he turned the heat up 7 times hotter than it normally is. So at this very moment, it seemed like everything was hopeless. I mean, they were coming to their end. They did the right thing. They were getting very wrong results. But just at the moment where it seemed like all hope was lost and they had been defeated, Jesus appeared with them in the fire and he protected them from the flames. And so I would encourage you that if you are just in the heat of the battle right now, if you are just going through a difficult, challenging season of life, no matter what it is, I would just encourage you just to press on. Press on through the difficulty. Don't fix your focus on how hot or how great the flames are, but fix your focus on how great and how powerful your God is to stand with you in the flames. He won't let you get burned. If you stay faithful and stay devoted to him, he's going to take every single thing that the devil meant for evil against you and turn it around for his good and for his glory. There's not one person in the Bible who didn't have a trial or a moment of difficulty before they saw their miracle or before they had a story of victory. Before there's a miracle, there's always a problem first. So don't get discouraged. Keep pressing on. Keep going.
Yeah.
So we have another question from an anonymous person. This person writes, how do I overcome insecurity?
So when we're dealing with insecurity, I think there's a few key things we need to do. First, I think we need to learn to recognize the source of the thought. If you're having a negative thought about yourself or a negative perception, you need to recognize that, look, these thoughts, thoughts in general come from 3 sources: God, the devil, and yourself. And if it's a negative thought, you can just rule out already that's not God. That's not a godly thought. Those aren't true things that he said about you. So you can rule that out as false and know that it's not true. Secondly, we need to apply the word of God. We need to know and understand what God has said about us, what he's created us to be. And really the only way we're going to get the understanding is if we're actually getting into the word and learning it and learning what God has said about us. Just for example, Jeremiah 29:11, it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to give you hope and a future." So if you're having a terrible day and you're just feeling really down and you're feeling insecure about life and where your direction's going, well, you can look at that and say, you know what? That's not the truth, because the Bible tells me in Jeremiah 29:11 that God has hope for me. He has a plan for me, that there's a future for me. Third, I think we need to begin to kind of watch yourself and learn yourself and start to break the cycle. So is there something that, if you're always feeling insecure or always feeling down about the same thing, is there something that you're always doing in your life that makes you start having those thoughts? So for example, are you always on social media scrolling through, looking at other people's posts in their lives and then starting to feel down? Well, get off social media, take a break, take a time out, delete your apps off your phone, stay off the computer, start breaking the cycle on those things. Stop giving the devil that foothold, and he's going to repeat the same pattern trying to get you confused and down. So I think, those are the 3 things. You need to learn to just recognize the thought, take it captive, that it's not of God, Get into the Word, learn the Word, and apply it. When God says that you're valued and loved, apply that and believe it. And then just start to learn yourself and, your pattern of behavior. And when you see, hey, I'm doing this, let's say I see Ashley walking through the grocery store here, and I think her hair and her outfit looks really cute, and I'm in my sweats, and I'm just like, man, I look crummy. It's like, don't recognize you're doing that. Break the cycle. Just, you know what?
Yeah.
So Ashley looks great today. Good for her. That doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. It doesn't reflect on your life.
And we usually don't look as bad as we think we do.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah. All right, well, I thought those were great questions. If you guys have a question that you would like for us to answer, send us a direct message on our social media, or if you're watching this on YouTube, comment below on this video. We would love to answer your question in one of our next Q&As. We'll see you next time.